welcome to our second lecture on managerial accounting, and I'm your instructor Jamal Haider. Okay, let's start. Today we will be covering chapter 2, in which we talk about management accounting or managerial accounting and cost concepts. So our first learning objective is to identify and give examples of each of the three basic manufacturing concept categories. So let's talk about that. So classification of manufacturing costs. Manufacturing costs are usually grouped into three main categories. One is direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead. These costs are incurred to make a product. So let's talk about direct material. So direct material are raw materials that became an integral part of the product and that can be conveniently traced directly to it. So example of direct material as mentioned here is a radio installed in an automobile. So the other examples include the aircraft engines on a Boeing 777, the Intel processing chip in a personal computer, the blank video cassette in a pre-recorded video, or as I mentioned here, the seat covers or the tires installed in an product. In this case here, a car. What is direct labor? So direct labor consists of the portion of the labor cost that can be easily traced to individual unit of the product. So we also call direct labor sometimes as touch labor, since it consists of the cost of workers who touch the product as it is being made. So example here, like wages paid to an automobile assembly worker, because we can directly trace it, how many hours the workers work, or we can easily divide, for example, in 1 hour a worker assemble three cars, so we can just find out what is the per unit cost of per hour cost of direct labor. The third category is manufacturing overhead. So manufacturing overhead includes all manufacturing cost except direct material and direct labor. So in other sense, we can say that manufacturing costs that cannot be easily traced directly to specific unit produced. So these are also called indirect manufacturing cost, factory overhead, or factory burden. So the other name are factory burden and factory overhead. So manufacturing overhead includes indirect material and indirect labor. So indirect material means materials that support the production process. For example, lubricants and cleaning supplies used in the automobile assembly plant. The other one is indirect labor, which is wages paid to employees who are not directly involved in production process. For example here, maintenance workers, janitors, security guards. Okay, so there are many other costs that is incurred by a manufacturing company that does not belong to the categories of manufacturing cost. And we call these non-manufacturing costs, which include selling and administrative cost. Sometimes we just combine them and we call them selling, journal, and administrative costs. So these costs are incurred in both manufacturing and merchandising companies as well. So a selling cost include all the costs necessary to secure the order and deliver the product. So these costs are also referred to as order getting or order filling costs. So examples include advertising, shipping, sales travel, sales commission, sales salaries, and cost of finished goods warehouses. The next category is admin cost or administrative cost, which include all executive, organizational, and clerical costs. So the examples here of the administrative cost includes executive compensation, general accounting cost, secretarial cost, public relation cost, and the similar costs involved in the overall general administration of organization as a whole. So one example of administrative costs is the salaries of head office that belongs to non-manufacturing cost. So it means now we have 5 categories. 2 belongs to manufacturing, non-manufacturing cost, which is selling, and here administrative cost, and 3 belongs to manufacturing cost, which is direct material. So let me write it here. So manufacturing cost categories are direct labor, direct material, and manufacturing overhead. So let's move further to understand classifying manufacturing cost. So here I have taken exercise 2.2 from your book on page 60. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. You can pause the video and you can read out the whole question.